are going to be reading another space book, but it's going to be a little bit different. This book is going to be about the ABCs of space. So we're going to learn all about outer space, but by using our ABCs. So the first thing we have to do is we have to make sure we remember all of our ABCs. Are you ready? Let's sing. Ready? And A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? Oh, that was so good. You're really good at your ABCs. So we're going to read this book. It's called A is for Astronaut. So we know the letter A makes the A sound. So it starts the word astronaut, which is a person that goes into space. So A is for astronaut. All right. So A is for astronaut, a person who explores space, or asteroid, which is a space rock that's smaller than a planet and it orbits the sun. So that means it goes around the sun. And then Apollo 11 is the first mission to land a person on the moon. So that's what it's called, the mission. So everyone say, A is for astronaut, A is for asteroid, and A is for Apollo 11. Do you guys hear the A sounds? B is for boots, an important part of an astronaut's spacesuit. B is for Big Dipper, a group of stars that looks like a big spoon. B is for booster, a rocket that pushes spacecraft into the air. So we have the B sound for boots, the Big Dipper, Big Dipper, and a booster, which are the rockets that are on the side of the space shuttle to get it up in the air. Did you know you can see the Big Dipper when you go outside? You should ask a grown-up to help you next time you're outside looking at stars of where the Big Dipper is. All right, what's after B? If you said C, you were right. C Guapo's having a moment. That's okay, we can keep reading. C is for cockpit, the part of the spacecraft where the pilot sits. C is for crew, the people who help the pilot fly the spacecraft. C is also for comet, a ball of ice with a tail that's made of dust and gas. So we have C is for cockpit, crew, and comet. They all make the k sound of the C, huh? Next we have D. D is for dinner. Cookies, cheese spread, creamed spinach, candy, crackers, and beef steak. Yum. So that's what an astronaut's dinner looks like. Does your dinner look like that? Mine doesn't. D is for a dirty snowball, which is another name for a comet, which is this. Right, we have one right here. D is also for Discovery, a space shuttle first launched in 1984. So Discovery is the name of this space shuttle. Well, what's after D? If you said E, you're right. E is for Earth, the planet we call home. Over 6 billion people live on Earth. So this is where we live. We live on the planet Earth. What's after E? If you said F, you were right. F is for flares, which are bursts of energy that come from the sun. See, this is the sun. F is for falling star, which are bits of rock and debris that fall to Earth from space. F is also for footprints left on the moon by astronaut Buzz Aldrin. So that's a footprint on the moon. Footprints don't go around the moon, so they stay forever. Now we have G. G is for galaxy, a large group of stars and planets. So here's a galaxy. G is also for golf balls, left on the moon by astronaut Alan Shepard. So astronaut Alan Shepard left golf balls on the moon. So you can probably go to the moon right now and go find a golf ball. Isn't that funny? It'd probably be really hard because the moon is white and golf balls are white. So it'd be really hard to find a golf ball on the moon. Right after G is H. H makes the sound. So we have H is for Hubble Space Telescope, which is a telescope that floats high above the Earth, taking pictures of space. Then we have Halley's Comet, which appears every 75 to 76 years. So there's Halley's Comet right there. Then we have HAM. Ham was the name of the first chimpanzee in space. Did you know a chimpanzee's been to space? His name was Ham. After H, we have I. I is for the International Space Station, a structure in space where astronauts can live. I is for ice cream. Freeze-dried, an astronaut's treat. Do you know they can have ice cream in space? And I is also for ignition, which is the starting of the engines that launch a spacecraft. So ignition is when all the rockets start. Guapo's having a moment again. Guapo, come here. Come read our book with us. We have letter J. J is for jet airplanes, which are used to fly the space shuttles to different locations on Earth. Then we have John Glenn, who in 1962 was the first U.S. astronaut to pilot a spacecraft around the Earth. So there's John Glenn. Then we have K. K is for the Kennedy Space Center in Florida, where space shuttles are launched. It's Kennedy Space Center. Yeah. All right. After K is L. L is for launch pads, where spacecraft lift off. L is for liftoff, which happens at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, liftoff. And then we have Laika, one of the first dogs to journey in space. Isn't that cool? Laika was one of the first dogs in space. I think Guapo's sad because he doesn't get to go to space like Laika did. M is for mission control, where scientists control the NASA space missions. It's also for the moon, which orbits Earth and is most easily seen at night. And here's the moon. The moon orbits, which means it goes around Earth. Do you know the moon goes around Earth? Okay, what's after M? It's N. N is for NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, in charge of the American space program. So if an American has been in space, it's most likely from NASA. It's also for Neil Armstrong, the first man to walk on the moon. N can also stand for the Netherlands and Norway, which are two countries helping to build the International Space Station. Ooh, that's cool. Then we have the letter O for oxygen pack, a tank that stores the oxygen astronauts need to breathe. Everyone take a deep breath in. You just breathe in oxygen. Wow. I'm blowing out. It's not oxygen when you blow it out. But all astronauts need oxygen, so they wear it on your back because air does not exist in space. Then we have orbit, the path planets take around the sun and moons take around their planets. So an orbit means it goes around. It doesn't have to be a circle. It can be an oval. O is also for observatory, a building from which you can see planets, moons, and stars. Now we have letter P. Letter P is for planets. There are 9 in our solar system. Let's see, here's the sun. Then there's Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. If someone tries to tell you Pluto isn't a planet, just say Aunt C says it's a planet. Then we have letter Q. Q stands for quarter moon, when the moon looks half, like what it is when it's full. Quarter moon. Then we have a quasar, which is a red object in space that resembles a star. So red, there we go. After Q, we have R. Guapo! Shh! R, we have rover, a vehicle like a car used to explore the moon and planets. Then we have a robotic arm. Isn't that cool? There's robots in space. A machine that helps astronauts perform dangerous tasks. Then we have radar, a system that is used to find faraway objects. We're almost done. Then we have a letter S. S stands for spacesuit, the suit astronauts wear to keep them safe in space. Then we have sun. The sun is the large star that gives Earth heat and light. Did you know our sun is a star? Then we have a satellite. Anything natural or human-made that orbits a larger object in space is called a satellite. So anything that goes around a planet or a moon or a star in space that was made by humans is called a satellite. Then we have the letter T. T is for telescope, an instrument where you can see planets and stars. T is for twinkle, the flickering light of a star. U is for universe. Every planet, moon, and star in our galaxy and beyond is part of the universe. V is for vomit comet, the NASA plane that makes astronauts weightless and sometimes makes them sick. Voyager is a spacecraft that explores space farther than any other human-made machine has ever explored so far. So the Voyager is the farthest away that anything has ever gone from Earth. Isn't that cool? I don't think Guapo thinks that's very cool, huh? Guapo, come here. Come here, Bubby. What's your problem? Is there a dog outside that you don't want to be outside? That's okay. I need you to be quiet because we're almost done with the alphabet, okay? Okay. Now we have W. W stands for World Space Week, which is celebrated every year from October 4th to October 10th. It also can stand for weightlessness, which is the reason things float in space. Then it could also be the Wright Brothers. The Wright Brothers are the first people to successfully fly an airplane. Look at the very first airplane. That does not look very safe, does it? No. What's after W? If you said X, you're right. X. So we have the XS-1 rocket plane, which is the first plane to fly faster than the speed of sound, which is really cool. We also have Planet X, which is the name scientists give a planet they think exists, but they haven't found it yet. We also have an X-15 rocket plane, a super fast plane that helped scientists in the 1960s understand spaceflight. That's super cool. Then we have letter Y. Y stands for year, the length of time it takes for Earth to orbit around the sun. Did you know Earth is going around the sun while the moon is going around Earth? Just a lot of orbits happening. So that's a year. When we go all the way around the sun, it's 1 year. And then we also have Yuri Gagarin. I probably said that wrong. But in 1961, he was the first human space traveler. Then we have Z, stands for zoom. Wow, good job. I liked learning the ABCs of space. Did you? Would you ever want to go to space? I think it'd be really cool to go to space, even though I might not want to be away from my family that long. But one thing I think would be really fun about going to space is being able to see all the stars that we can't see from Earth, because we can only see a little bit of stars that's like the sky. But if you're in space, you have stars all around you, so you can see so many more stars than we can here on Earth. Wasn't that awesome? I really like stars. I would like, if you want, you can draw me a picture of your favorite stars in the sky. Maybe your favorite constellation. Just like my shirt has all the different constellations that make a picture when all the stars get connected. See that? All the different constellations? So if you want, you can draw me a picture of a constellation, which is when all the stars make a picture. There's constellations with bears and people and snakes. There's constellations for everything. So if you want, you can draw me a picture of a constellation where all the stars connect the dots to make a really cool picture. And let your grown-up know, and they can send it to me, alright? Okay, astronauts, we're ready to blast off. Ready? Let's count down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And booster ignition and liftoff of Space Shuttle Discovery, taking the space station to full power for full science.
This is Mission Control, Houston.
Discovery roll program.
Roger roll, Discovery.
Discovery's roll maneuver is complete. It is now in a heads-down position on track for its flight to the International Space Station.